Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo! I see you. To stretch for my reach on these drama videos. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021 or 3000 BC. The album Dad AF. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Jeffree Star, quit playing with my heart. Invite me to your castle in the sky, Jeffree Star. How are you guys doing today? As you can see, I am in a very, very good mood. Hold on a second. Let me put on my Lunar Beauty. No, I don't have an affiliate code, but he should give me one. Anyway, let's get into this video today. Hi, how are you guys doing? Let's have a little applause for all of you out there today in drama class. Did you make it on time? I like to go in now and the first person that, because there's like 30 people and they're like, first. I'm like, only one of us can be first. Second is first loser, just so you know. So you better want to get here on time. It's shake and bake, and I help. No, but you want to get here really, really early, okay? Because you're going to miss the drama. I mean, even if you come 12 hours later, it's just not the same, is it? I love when people fight over first place on my channel. Oh, God, it makes me so happy. Okay, I have some questions and comments, concerns. What are your concerns today? Well, my concern is that you were late to drama class, okay? So, today we're going to talk about Shane Dawson and what he is doing right now. And we're going to talk about how what he is doing or what has happened to Shane Dawson is affecting his friends and those around him. And what do we do next with Shane Dawson? I want to talk about that. But before I do, I want to get in and I want to address some comments that I received on my video. You know, this is my favorite part of my video these days. Okay, so let me get back to, I have them all in order here. Well, by order, I just mean screenshot. I was actually going to do the Legally Blonde Frappuccino drink, or I guess it's just called the Legally Blonde drink on my review channel today from Starbucks. But instead, I may do that tomorrow. Or Monday, we'll see. But instead, I reviewed the Pina Colada Frappuccino, so you can go check that out on my review channel. We're actually going to reference my review channel in just a second, because I got a comment over there that I think might be apropos. Glamour shots. Glamour shots. This is always my favorite on glamour shots, is when they would take the collar and they would do this. I always thought that was so corny. Like, who sits like that for a picture? Okay. But anyway, the fawns, maybe. Oh, I'm dating myself. Okay. But I have all of my comments in a row that I screenshot. So let me get in here. And I'm just going to read y'all's names out there and all this kind of stuff. So Texas Chick said, I can't believe I just said y'all's and then it was Texas Chick. Oh my God, that's so funny. So Texas Chick said, cannot believe that Louis Vuitton is working with Jeffree Star. Just tweeted at Louis Vuitton, they got to read the room, take a temperature. Take a temp, he's not it. And what they're referencing is that Jeffree Star, in his Snapchat story yesterday, had this wig that was delivered to him. It was basically a blue bowl cut and it had LV on it. I think they gifted him a bunch of stuff. Allegedly, it looked like they just sent him all kinds of stuff. And, you know, Jeffree Star has been somebody that has shown a lot of Louis Vuitton over the time. You know, I think it will be interesting. Now, this could be completely made up and he's just going to do some looks based on Louis Vuitton. I don't know. Louis Vuitton has always... The celebrities that they choose to use in their ad campaigns are a little bit higher of an echelon than Jeffree Star, but maybe they think that he has a finger on the pulse of fashion. But I don't know, but I do think that that's a really bad look for Louis Vuitton, and I would just be interested for those of you out there, if they did work with Jeffree Star, would you be kind of like done with Louis Vuitton, or would you be like, it is what it is, who cares, whatever. I mean, I know that those of you out there that love Jeffree Star will be like, of course I'm going to continue to buy my Louis Vuitton fakes off of what's that Santos Alley, is that what it's called in California? Okay, Santee Alley. All right. So then the next person is Megan, and Megan said, I request time-lapse footage of your squirrel table. Because yesterday I talked about my squirrel table, and people don't believe that I have a squirrel table. Okay, Megan, here you go. That's Sammy the squirrel. Okay, he's kind of in charge of the neighborhood. And then we have two birds, and their names are Drita and Renee. So, like, we have the whole mob situation going on in the backyard. All the animals, they're fighting. Now, Drita, the bird, she's a little bit, her bark is worse than her bite. But anyway, so there you go, Megan. And then Rihanna said, oh my God, just get on with it. No, girl. Look below. Do you see right here? I'm going to show you, okay? Follow the finger. No, I'm not going to turn it up, but if I did, it would be like this. But follow the finger. It says Peter Monn. It doesn't say Rihanna. I know you think it does, but it doesn't. Okay. So then Lisa said, why is it that Jeffree says in his apology video, he's learned to sit back and not react based on emotions, but makes a whole Instagram story of him reacting based on emotions, LOL. You know what, actually in reflection, in doing some self-reflection on Jeffree Star, because he does self-reflection on other people, on doing some self-reflection on Jeffree Star, I realized I think the thing that was the most comical to me, I just want to say this about his Instagram story yesterday, I don't think that people really realize how damaging it was. The fact that he came out and he showed that he really is the same person that he was 2 months ago, and he showed that he hadn't changed at all, right? The thing that was the most interesting to me was that he starts the whole thing off by talking about how each and every single one of us should take responsibility for our own actions, and then he turns around and he points the finger at all these people that are consumed with him, right? Like, okay, is that you taking responsibility for your own actions, or is that you pointing your finger at yet again other people? Or are you taking responsibility I'm confused, right? So literally in the matter of like Squid, what we're not going to do, make that make sense. In the matter of about 60 seconds, he contradicted himself. Jeffree Star a liar? Oh my God, I would never believe that. Okay, so then somebody said, have you seen the D'Angelo Wallace video on Shane Dawson? I have. I actually just watched it. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. It was very well done. I thought it was completely cohesive in talking about Shane Dawson. He's also done a video on Jeffree Star, and I'm going to actually talk about the D'Angelo Wallace video and what my thoughts were a little bit later in this video, because it applies to what do we do with Shane Dawson going forward. And I have to tell you that D'Angelo's video had a major impact on me going forward, and really kind of, I was kind of teetering on the fence, and his video really kind of, I don't know, it made me very, I wouldn't say sad, but kind of like sad with, like, I guess I never knew who Shane Dawson was. That's all I can say. But we're going to talk about that in just a second, because that's the meat and potatoes, or if you're a vegetarian, the morning star of the video. Okay, so then M said, Peter, I am trying to buy roller skates, but they are sold out everywhere. I am so sad. I want to skate with my good Judies. Okay, so I just went over to Amazon, and I have an Amazon store that like nobody ever buys anything from, but it's like where I link stuff from my review channel and stuff. You can go over there and check it out. But anyway, I just found 4 different pairs of roller skates that are for adults. I think 3 pairs are for women, and like the 4th pair is for all adults, so you can go over there and check them out. I think one pair is $113 and the other pairs are all below $100 because I wanted to make them, like, I think mine were $79 that I purchased. And I actually have the kind that I got that are on there. So if you want to go buy roller skates, you don't have to buy them with my link. I do get a little compensation underneath there, but you don't have to buy it from that. It's linked below. It's my Amazon store. Okay. And then Clea said, I haven't heard a no, Tachi, no in a while. How about a Tachi, no video? Okay, there you go. And then Jen said, the best thing to come from this Carmageddon is hands down Peter. Oh my God. I love your roller skating, bubbly, hilarious, positive personality. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Jen. And then Christina said, on the heels of that, the one good thing about all these horrible people being horrible, oh my God, they are though. No, they're so horrible. No, they're not, okay? Just pray on them. Y'all need Jesus. Listen, you do, okay? You need to go to Jesus and start talking in tongues and all that kind of stuff. You do. You need Jesus in your life to forgive these people, okay? Listen, we're having a church revival right up in here, okay? We're praying. We're praying for the sins and the souls of the YouTubers of the world. Church revivals. Okay. But anyway, Christina said, the one good thing about all these horrible people being horrible, I've discovered this wonderful set of channels don't care at all about the drama here for Peter at this point. And then Gustavo said, why are you deleting the timestamps? Because it's rude. It's rude when you come over here and you... My videos start at 0.00. And a lot of people understood that. But Gustavo, stick around because you might have some fun. I'm just saying, you might. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that, okay? And then Stephanie said, in regards to Laura Lee, Laura has grown and is not irrelevant. She is about her family, drama-free. Let her be. Did you watch my video? One of my favorite things ever on YouTube is when people are not willing to give me the view for the entire 39 minutes of my video, of which they usually are, and they want to comment before they even get to the meat and potatoes of the Morning Star, or whatever, the bratwurst. What's the other thing I was going to say? It doesn't matter anyway. Or the hot corn dog of my video. Okay, and then Isadora, she has a very strong request from Peter over here. She said, okay, Peter, let's be clear. First of all, I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. So excuse me if I make spelling mistakes. She didn't make not one spelling mistake, but many people do, okay? Second, you have the most beautiful blue eyes. Oh my God, thank you so much, Isadora. Okay, third, I need you to find me somebody funny like you. Strength. That's coming on my Instagram couture modeling, okay? Strength, okay, that lives in Buenos Aires and is, if possible, Jewish, okay? It's not that hard, she said. Come on, you are so hilarious and true. Please never change, just evolve. Con mucho amor from South America. So thank you, Isadora, for that. I said in my video yesterday, like, I'm 48 years old, you guys. The fact that I get to get on 5, did I say 6? Oh no, I said 5. Did I say 6? 5 channels every single day, and I have been posting on every single one of my channels for like the last 2 weeks consistently. And that people all around the world like watch my, I mean, it is so amazing to me, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I will tell you that YouTube is doing that little glitchy thing again where they're unsubscribing people from my channel, so please make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel. Okay, then this is actually from the video from the day before, and this is from Miss Squish, and she or he said, all apology videos should be demonized. Not demonetized. Demonetized? Demonized. Well, I agree that all apology videos should be demonetized, but demonized, I think they already are. Okay. Then I have to tell you, the last comment is a comment that I actually got on my review channel yesterday from Melissa. So I made a joke in my channel, on my review video yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, people always say like, oh, he's going to start a 6th channel, and they try to booger me for it, okay? I'm like, listen, I'm having fun, okay? I'm living my most life. I'm living my truth. I'm having so much fun on a daily basis. Be too much. Don't ever let anybody like go shh and hold you down. You be too much. Be too much, right? So when people say to me, he's gonna start a 6th channel, won't that be ridiculous? I'm like, I might start 17 channels or 18 or 20. Don't think I won't. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, okay? Take responsibility for your own life. Jeffree Star told you that. It must be the truth. So anyway, I got this. I said something yesterday on my review channel about how I was going to start a channel called Peter Does Stuff. And then I was just going to show like stupid stuff of like me roller skating and whatever. So Melissa commented on this, and I got so many DMs about this yesterday, you guys. Melissa said, you could start a channel called Peter Does Stuff. You could cook, roller skate, flip fans, water your plants, play with the dogs. The possibilities are endless. I would watch it in a heartbeat. And Lauren said, oh my God, you're genius. And Chrissy said, great idea. Amber said, oh my God, yes, can you imagine? And Linda said, sounds awesome. Linda comments on literally every single one of my videos on every single channel. Thank you, Linda. And Ivana said, not Ivana Trump, Ivana Fish, said, would watch the heck out of that. Players only love you when they're playing. Stand back. I love that song too. So, start a 6th channel called Peter Does Stuff. Who? Me? What do y'all think about that one? All right. Now, let's get into this video. Today, I want to talk about at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. I will tell you, yesterday, I timestamped it myself, and I said 7 minutes and something like that. And somebody commented, and they said that they timestamped it, and they go, because Peter did it. I was like, okay, I'll allow that one. I'll allow that one. So let's get into Shane Dawson's downfall and how it has affected the people around him. And I want to talk about D'Angelo Wallace's video as well. If you guys have not watched it, he did, I want to make sure that I know the title of the video. Hold on just a second. D'Angelo, hold on a second, I just watched this. D'Angelo, where are you, D'Angelo? His video is called The Exact Moment Shane Dawson career ended. 12:37 p.m., 6:30:20. We are coming up on it being 1 month since Shane Dawson has said or done anything social media wise other than liking a few things here and there. He hasn't said or done anything, nothing, okay? We're coming up on about a month of that. So that is really, really interesting. One of the things I wanted to say is, hold on a second, I want to pull up the analogy to read it to you guys exactly how it is. So, you know, I was sitting here and I was thinking about this when I was watching D'Angelo's video. So I'll talk about that first. If you haven't watched D'Angelo's video, it's like an hour and 15 minutes, and he cuts it up into 3 parts, and he talks about Shane Dawson, who he is today, Shane Dawson from his past, and then the manipulation of Shane Dawson, okay, to kind of like coerce audience and viewers into thinking that he's somebody different than he is. And when I was watching this video, I have to say, like, how I thought about who Shane Dawson is today, based on my own personal experiences and having watched certain things in the last couple years, very much aligned with D'Angelo. And I have to say, there was nothing about his video that I didn't agree with. The video was very difficult for me to watch. Now, as a drama channel, I have had probably, I don't know, hundreds of clips sent to me at this point in my DMs from people, you know, saying watch this, watch that, or whatever. And in all honesty, it became very, very dark. There became a point when I just really was like, I can't watch any more of this. So there were some things in the video that I was aware of, but that I hadn't seen in the entirety. Now, D'Angelo has demonetized his video because he wanted to show all these clips. He wanted to talk about it in a way that he felt that needed to be talked about. The first thing that I really had an issue with was the animal stuff. I just was like, it was a lot watching this in the video. And then all of it was very, very troubling and problematic to me. When it came to the puppet stuff, I really hadn't watched any of that. Like, I had heard of it. I had heard of this show, this, I guess, Millie or something like that. I had heard, but I hadn't watched any of the clips. Like I said, by the time that I had, like, it got to that point that people were, like, pulling that stuff out, I had seen so much of it already. I just was like, this is a lot. Like, this is, like, you know, it just is really, really a lot. And, I don't know, like, when I started doing drama on YouTube, I did it because it just was fun to me to talk about, like, friendships and mistakes that these people were getting into. It wasn't this. Like, this has gone into a completely different realm. But I know that this is what people want to talk about. I know that this is what is going on right now. And so I know that it's pertinent, and I think the conversation probably should be had, or needs to be had. After that part, so I was going to go into my video today, and I was going to talk about, like, Ryland hasn't posted in a month. Morgan hasn't posted in a month. So I don't know, like, if they feel, like, drastically affected by Shane too. They're not posting anything. None of them have put anything out, I don't believe, on any kind of social media. You know, Jeffree Star's over here. He's living his best life. He addressed Shane and talked about what a great guy Shane was, which to me is like, okay, so then you just defended everything from Shane's past, even though you said we all have things in our past. Well, Shane hasn't even really come out and addressed those. You know, and the thing that D'Angelo says in his video is, he's given kind of like some short apologies in the past that don't even really fully address, and they don't. I mean, when you guys, if you go to his video and you watch it, if you haven't already, when you see all of it collectively together, it's like you can't look away. And for me, I have to say, I think the reason why there is so much comparison between Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson right now, other than them just being friends with each other, is the fact that it's like they both rose very, very quickly in the last couple years. Like, I mean, they were already big, you know, influencers, but at the same time, they like exploded onto the scene, and they were like unstoppable, it seemed. And Shane was like the golden boy of YouTube. I used to refer to him as that, you know? And what happened, I think, over time was that, like, with each of them, something would come out like this, and then something would come out like that, and then something smaller would come out. And it's like we would see it, and then we would excuse it, and then we would move on to the next thing. And 3 months to 6 months would go by, and then something else would come by, and something else would come by, you know? And I was thinking about this today. I was like, I knew a lot of this stuff was out there, but I didn't know that all of it was out there. Like, I really, really didn't. If you had asked me 3 years ago about Shane Dawson's past, I would have said that I knew certain things were out there, but really, I probably could have, like, maybe quoted you 3 to 4 things. In all honesty, like, I had no idea that it was this large. There was this much out there of him, right? So I was thinking about this today watching D'Angelo's video about like how we get to the point, because at the end of the video, D'Angelo says he's done with Shane. He doesn't want anything to do with him. He doesn't care. He's done with him. And I thought, you know, I'm really there. Like, I'm really, really there. And I kept on asking myself after I watched the video, I was like in my head and I was like, what possibly could Shane do at this point that would make, that could make me think of him differently? I really don't know. I have no clue at this point what Shane could do for, like, as a past fan and as a viewer to make me look at him any differently. I really don't know. And I'm trying to be completely, you know, just honest on here about my emotions and my feelings. It made me really, really sad that this person that I thought was kind of up here really, like, fell from grace, but had already been there, right? And then I was like, well, to some degree, Peter, all of that stuff was already out there. I mean, you could have looked it up, right? And there were questionable things that came out over the course of the time that you, like, looked up to him and whatever, but you just kind of, like, excused it away. And I was thinking about, I think what happens with a lot of us as fans is it's kind of like the boiling the frog fable or analogy, if you know what I mean. And I want to read this to you. And it says on here, the boiling frog is a fable describing a frog being slowly boiled alive. The premise is that if a frog is put suddenly into boiling water, it will jump out. But if the frog is put in tepid water, which is then brought to a boil slowly, it will not perceive the danger and will be cooked to death. And I honestly think that this is kind of what's happened to me and maybe a lot of viewers when it comes to Shane Dawson, when it comes to Jeffree Star and these people. You know, Jeffree Star, first of all, has been problematic forever. And I've known that for a long time, okay? Like, he is somebody to me that it's kind of like, it's hard. There's so much out there that I think at this point that he doesn't even really care. I really don't. I don't think he cares. So that is where he is different from Shane. Whereas with Shane, even though that stuff was there, it was kind of like hidden over here. I mean, I didn't go looking for it. I wasn't going to look at his videos from 9 or 10 years ago, you know? And so it was like something would happen and it was like turning up the dial on the stove. Something else would happen. It's like turning up the dial on the stove. Something else would happen until I'm kind of at this boiling point where all of a sudden I'm being boiled to death by all this stuff that I'm seeing about Shane Dawson. And I'm like, what happened? Like, how did I go from here to here so quickly and I didn't even realize it? Well, I have been boiled slowly over time. I had been, like, heated up over time by these things that I had seen, and then all of a sudden it comes out and it's like, and it's like, oh my God, I'm over. I can't get out of what I'm seeing now. And that was what happened to me today when I was watching D'Angelo's video. I just couldn't look away anymore. I just couldn't. It was like so much. I just was like, I don't know. I was like, I guess I never really knew who he was. And D'Angelo even says that in the video. He was like, you know, we don't know who Shane is. You know, and it was interesting to me because, you know, Shane, I made a joke about him getting on and selling his merch. And he's like, no, you guys, but like, really, you don't have to sell this merch. But if you want to sell it, you have to sell it. And D'Angelo's showing all these different clips from his past, right? And he's showing, like, the live stream when he's going off on Tati. That's one Shane. Then there's the merch Shane. Then there's the Shane that comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning that just wants to talk to his people. Then there's the Shane that's, like, very calm and collected, talking to Tana, talking to Graveyard Girl, talking to Jeffree Star, talking to Jake Paul, being, like, the person that can, like, the uncle, the empath, which is so effing ridiculous, you know? And then there's the Shane Dawson from yesteryear that is, like, has all these mocking, comical voices. I mean, and there's, like, probably 20 different ones from back then, right? He is such a chameleon at this point that I don't even think Shane Dawson knows who Shane Dawson is. I really, really don't. And you know, what's really sad about this is, for those that are closest to him, wouldn't you kind of have to wonder too, like, do I know this person? Like, I would, you know, like, I mean, as a person that's watched him for a long time, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize this was out there. It's just, there's a lot, you know? And so I guess it's kind of like, I feel like, and I think this is what's happened to a lot of Jeffree Star fans too, you know? Somebody commented on my video, and I didn't read the specific comment, but they said they were talking to a friend of theirs who is a huge Jeffree Star fan, but doesn't watch, like, or doesn't have any internet stuff, like, other than YouTube, and they didn't realize anything that had been going on over time, right? Well, for a lot of us that have, and I think a lot of the Jeffree Star fans, what's happened is that the heat has been turned up over time. It's this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And so when I say things like Jeffree Star does not realize that eventually this is going to bite him in the ass, what I mean by that is, there's going to be the day that the frog boils, okay? There's going to be the day that Jeffree Star cannot look away from what's going on. He can continue to walk away from all this all he wants. All of them can, right? But there's going to come a day when, like, nobody wants to see it anymore. Now, every time that anybody watches a Shane video, if he comes back and starts doing videos on YouTube, people are going to watch him so closely. I mean, they're going to be watching him, you know, with a microscope to see what he says, what he does, if he's changed, if he's different than the past. They're not going to just forgive this and go on. And if you can watch D'Angelo Wallace's video and just be like, it is what it is, it was the past, then I don't know. Like, I think we need to maybe check our own issues to ask why we're okay excusing those things away. I can't anymore. I just really can't. And I don't think, and you know, D'Angelo says in there that he can't support Shane Dawson. He can't support anybody that does support Shane Dawson. It's just a lot, you guys. It's so much at this point. It's like, how do you look away from all of that, you know? So there's that I wanted to talk about. You know, I wanted to talk about all these people like Drew and Garrett haven't come out and really said anything in his defense. I mean, these are two of Shane's closest friends. You know, I've read on here, and people are reading things of Garrett's that he's posted that maybe like insinuate that he has, you know, said something about Shane. Who knows? I don't know. Drew doesn't come out a whole lot and say anything anyway. Trisha, I mean, she's defended him basically, I mean, to the grave. She really, really has. But I don't know why any of that would surprise us. Trisha doesn't care. Trisha's probably one of the most problematic people on YouTube, right? So she, like, to her, this isn't going to affect her one way or the other. And then Jeffree, I mean, you know, he said something about it in his accountability video and addressed it just because people were being hard on him about it, and just said, well, Shane Dawson's like the greatest person in the entire world. But this is the thing you have to realize, right? Is that the majority of those people that will excuse Jeffree Star's behaviors away from the past are the same people that will excuse Shane Dawson's because they see him together aligned like that, right? So they're not going to have an issue with that. So in that moment when Jeffree's speaking to his stands, they're like, yes, Jeffree, yes, Jeffree, yes, Jeffree. And to me, it really is, all joking aside, a church revival. It just is, okay? You know, it is just all of that. It is just this whole, like, smoke and mirrors kind of thing to get you to believe something that's not true to begin with. So, I mean, he really, really is speaking to those people that he knows are going to let him get away with it anyway. So that accountability video wasn't for the people that don't believe him, because they're already done with him, you know, and he doesn't care. I don't know, like I wrote some questions and I asked, what should he do? What should he do? I mean, I don't really know. If Shane Dawson called me up, I don't know what I would say to him on the phone. I'm not somebody that would, I don't know. I'm not somebody that would turn a human being down if they asked me for help. If they said, what do you think I do in this situation? I don't know. I think I'd say, you know, Shane, I think you need to take a really, really long time off of YouTube and maybe really get into some deep counseling and take a look at what all this is about, you know? There's been many points in my life where I've had to do that, and I've had to do inventory on what's going on, you know, with my sponsor, and then take those issues with a counselor and sit down and take a look at all of that. I mean, I've had to do that, you know? I think for him to, not even about YouTube, not even trying to fix YouTube or fix social media. I think we know, like, Shane Dawson on the heels of this conspiracy palette could live nicely for the rest of his life and would never have to work again. But really about Shane Dawson being able to improve and grow as a human being, like, what does he do, you know? Like, he can't just sit and start slowly putting up videos back and then one day make his return. I mean, to me, that doesn't show any growth. And past the YouTube thing, I don't know. I don't think it's really an age thing of me being older, but there is a point when you're like, it isn't just about the YouTube drama and the YouTube stuff. There becomes a point when you look at that person as a human being and you think, I want the best for all people. Like, please take a look at yourself and work on yourself. Please, you know, like, this isn't just about fixing your career on YouTube. And then I want to know what you guys think that he should do, or are you just done with him in general, you know? I think it's a good question, you know, like, these YouTubers develop personal relationships with us. They plead to our personal, emotional sides, right? You know, this is one of the reasons why, I mean, and all joking aside, I mentioned that in the review video yesterday. Well, I'll talk about that in just a second, but the last thing I want to ask is, like, you know, do you think that he can redeem himself as a fan? Is there things that he could do to redeem himself? Have you let him go on? Do you not care? Are you moving on? I will say this to you. If you're that person that's just like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal to me anymore, or whatever it was in the past, please watch D'Angelo's video. It's an important video. It's like, it has it all just kind of laid out there. Things that Shane Dawson has said that were edited and taken out of context. I mean, D'Angelo shows them in their entirety, it's hard to excuse away when you see things like that in their entirety. I don't know. I think Shane really needs to do some deep soul searching and really work on who he is as a human being. I mean, like as Jeffree Star said, and I'm not saying this jokingly, but like every day that we get up, I say this, you know, like be the best version of yourself that you can be during that day. Well, sometimes that takes a lot of work. You know, when we talk about like building muscle and we talk about like, you know, like for those people that love going to the gym and building muscle, you know, you have to break down the muscle to build it back up. That's literally what happens when you're building muscle, right? So for many of us to build ourselves back up into better human beings, we have to break ourselves down a little bit at first. You know, we have to take a look at those things that are hard. We have to do inventory. We have to do evaluation. We have to sit down with a professional and we have to talk about those things that maybe we aren't comfortable for us to talk about, you know? So I don't know what he can do. You know, I will tell you this. On the heels of all this, and me talking about this joking 6th channel, whatever, which I'm not entirely sure it is a 6th channel. I'd be interested to know, would you watch it if I did a 6th channel? I was watching some other videos of people recently. You know, I was watching an update video of Mark Miller and his boyfriend, Ethan Heathcote, that are actually from Indiana, and they just recently moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and they were like sitting in their living room, and they were just sitting there drinking coffee, talking about stuff, and I was like, you know, this is really the YouTube that I miss. I don't know, I missed that, right? And that was the YouTube that I loved back in the day. Tyler Oakley, you know, pulling lean cuisines out of his freezer and stuff like that, and I thought, you know, I do have 5 channels. I have a book channel, which is exclusively for books. I have a review channel where I review all kinds of stuff. You know, I have my vlog that I do, and I have that, but I thought, you know, and my Peterisms channel where I talk about meditations, which so many people are watching recently. Thank you so much. Like the views on that have really gone up on my meditation channel, Peterisms, did you hear that? Okay. But anyway, I thought, you know, how fun would it be to have just a place where I just do stupid, like, let's say 5-minute videos, you know? Like very like a la Jenna Marbles from the past, you know? Those are the kind of things I miss being on YouTube. And, you know, I was talking to a friend earlier and I was telling her that I was going to start this channel. She's like, you are such an addict. I am such an addict, right? I am totally, because I always want more and more and more. But at the same time, it's like, life is short, you know? Like, be too much. Do what makes you happy. And I thought, I could have a little place out there where I just do a whole video on, like, feeding my squirrel table, you know? Or buying plants from my backyard. Or making coffee in the morning. I mean, and just do little short videos. Because those are the things I really love. I miss that, just that, I don't know, that wholesomeness of YouTube, even when it wasn't necessarily wholesome people, that were just doing everyday normal stuff, and it wasn't like all of this. Like, I miss that on YouTube. So, anyway, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.